Who is willing to give you business?
Absolutely.
Which business are you doing? Can you have an idea? Because even if you have it and you don't have an idea, it's equal to zero.
Uh-huh.
So that one is not an exemption to tax. You will be taxed and you will be taxed accordingly. So unless you have been legally exempted from tax, and KRA, for you to be exempted from tax, they give you an exemption certificate that at the end of the day you must be able to give it out. Ndio sasa if I'm paying you and you are tax exempted, KRA will come for me. I just did some filing for someone who was tax exempted, and he did not give me the exemption certificate.
Yes.
They have sent me a mail. It was yesterday. They have sent me a mail to share the exemption number. Because if I don't have the exemption number, then I might be transacting my own things. So the proof is to go through the process. There is a process you apply. One, a person with disability is given a National Council for Disabilities identity card
Yes.
or number. Once you have it, you go through KRA, you are given an exemption certificate. That exemption certificate is the one that you will be able to use, but it will not apply to the company because the company is a separate legal entity. It exists also as a human being. So if today the director of a company is a person with disability and KRA exempts that company, what about the next day the board makes a resolution that we are changing the directors? So it is way different. Unless it is a personal pin where you are running a business on it, and there are taxes that you have been exempted that you will not be able to pay. But you will not be exempted all taxes.
Another one. Do people having the AGPO certificate
Yes.
pay different tax from maybe withholding tax, VAT?
No, never. Those are just mere decorations and flowers because AGPO is meant to ensure you do business with government. They came up with this initiative so that they can be able to help youth and women and people with disability to be able to have an access to doing business with government. This thing initially, how it was being undertaken, what it gives you advantage is if you today you are applying for a tender or you want to be pre-qualified by a procuring entity, you will be pre-qualified continuously because you have access to government opportunity certificate. Unlike a person who is not a youth and is a man and his company has not registered for access to government opportunities, he must wait until pre-qualification is advertised. But for someone with that certificate, it is continuous. You can be pre-qualified at any given time of the year. And then advantage with it, if they follow what they said, if today I have business, they are at the procurement. It's called public procurement something. They give guidelines on how tenders, pre-qualifications, and quotations are supposed to be undertaken. So when a procurement is filing returns, there is a special place where he must be able to declare these three groups. How have they benefited from your organization? So that is how far the access to government opportunities is supposed to take you. So that if I'm coming into your farm and I want to sell a product in your farm and I want to be pre-qualified, as long as I have that certificate, you are not supposed to ask me a lot of questions. That is the only advantage it would give you. But when it comes to building the nation from Kenya Revenue Authority, we will only give you an opportunity or a chance if you are a person with disability, and it is not a company pin. But anytime it is attached to is a company pin, whether you are the only director, whether you are who, it doesn't add up and it doesn't work. Yes.
Now, on people with the certificate, the ACPO certificate,
Yes.
and maybe some have VATs.
Yes.
What happens to them when they don't transact or when they don't do business? Because you look at these categories, youth, women, and people living with disabilities.
Yes.
And sometimes unapata kijana anapata kadil hapa mara moja mbili kwa mwaka.
Yes.
Na ako na VAT.
Yes.
What happens to such a person?
Okay, VAT also gives you the liberty to file nil returns at the end of the month. By that, for the record, VAT is filed every 20th of the next month. If you had you have VAT for last month, today is on 17th.
Yes. 18th.
You are 18th. You are supposed to file your VAT before 20th. Payment can be done after. You can pay, but filing ends on 20th of the next month. So if we have VAT for August, it is supposed to be declared before 20th of this month. But VAT gives you the latitude to file also nil returns. So if you have not undertaken any business with any firm, you are free to file VAT as nil obligation for that period. But I don't believe as a person who is supposed to be in a business, you can be able to be outside business for the whole year. Then you are doing some other things somewhere. So if you have an access to government opportunities and you have registered VAT obligation, you are just a taxpayer like any other. We will just tax you the 16% and you will be able to pay that 16% regardless. The only person who will enjoy some latitude maybe when it comes to income tax and mostly income tax is a person with disability. But when it comes to other tax obligations, jinyi hiyo vitu ya IGPO sisi KRA
Tuko kwa meza wote.
the only thing that can make sense at the Kenya Revenue Authority portal is the tax exemption certificate. As long as you have it, we can negotiate. Which tax are you not supposed to pay and which one are you supposed to pay? Yes.
Wow. Hey, watu wako kume.
So it is just it is not an equalize of the society because it added more corruption. Because today you will find someone who is a business person, starts a company, then he adds a woman, gives him 55% shares, he takes the 45 so that they qualify to register for ACPO, and they can do business anywhere. So when you find a lot of these people, it's like everyone is now having that ACPO. So it does not serve the purpose that it's supposed to serve. Just like people with disability, they could have just left it at a woman, a youth, and a person with disability. If a company is owned by two people, let them just pay tax. Not paying tax. Let them just do business like any other person. But if you give it the room that they have given it and the latitude, if today I want to open a company, I'll go pick anybody else who is below 35 years. He opens the company, then I run the bank account. He has access to government opportunity. We will do business. And that's what's happening in Kenya. So currently everybody has ACPO. So where's Mutisha?
Sasa na pia we have this issue of, someone was saying, I think I watched it on YouTube, the guy runs the business consultancy space.
Yes.
And he was saying that, you as a human being, na ukiwa mtu unajituma,
yes,
you must have not less than 3 companies.
Yes.
And I'm here thinking, for you to, when you have a company, it comes with the VAT part.
Yes.
Is it the PIN?
Not all of them, yes.
Now you have 3 companies that have different pins, but maybe this one is active, the other one
is dormant.
What happens to such now businesses?
Okay, now I want to agree with that person because in Kenya now, issue access to government opportunities is what has made people to be that
wajuaji.
wajuaji.
Yes.
Lazima ujipange because today you will do business 3 times 4 times, watakuuliza msee na hisi tumeizoea sana bana,
Leta ile ingine.
hebu leta ile ingine. Unapiga na hiyo kidogo kidogo tena wanakuambia hii naye hapana. So for you to register for VAT in Kenya, one, you must have turnover sales per year that is more than 5 million for you to qualify to register for VAT. So if someone is, if you are selling sukuma wiki and nyanya and kidungua and you are very sure mi mwaka ikisha nitakuwa nimepiga 250 ama 500 ama 600, I will advise you just remain at the category of turnover tax, which you will just be able to pay at the end of the year and you'll pay it once. But ukishapitisha 5 million as your turnover sales, unajua mtu mdosi kaa wewe utapiga shughuli 1 2 3 huko milioni 10. So you will have to be able to file for that VAT. So you can find someone, you might have 3 companies, but what are they doing? What type of businesses are they engaging in? Because if you leave your company dormant and you already have registered for VAT and you're not filing that VAT, be rest assured that every month penalty is 10,000. So if you leave your company dormant for 2 years, 240,000 is waiting for you. And 240 is the penalty. These penalties, as you file them and as they accrue, they attract an interest. So utapata from 240 umepatiwa interest pale. When you add these things together,
milioni mtu wangu,
wewe tujenge kafomu
kazuri,
which is so unfortunate. So if you ukifika mahali you feel like this company you will not be transacting with it anymore, what we advise business people is that it's good to close that business. And if you still want to keep it and you don't want to comply with VAT, you can still use the same procedure that you used to open a VAT obligation by applying for closure of the VAT obligation on your PIN. So that ukikaa hivi, you will only be filing income tax company. And income tax company, because you are not into business, you will be declaring a 01. And it is once off a year. Unlike VAT, it's monthly.
Yes.
So whether it's a 0, whether it is a nil, we must interact with the KRA website every month. So if you have 3 companies, nowadays KRA is becoming very cunning, because if you are having a browser in your laptop, it cannot file 2 pins at the same time. You will have to file one using Chrome, another one use Safari, another one use Mozilla, another one use... So wewe kwa mwezi bireta shwa, kazi yako ni drama tu, kuzunguka namna hii ukisonga. So it is advisable, if you are not going to interact with this thing further, close it to avoid penalties and interests that will not... And by that time, when you will come to file for the 240 at once, they will ask... anything that raises suspicion to KRA will always attract scrutiny to your side. Because they'll ask themselves, for 2 years, where was this person? Kwani unataka kusema hujafanya any business? So these people, they will automatically come for your statement. Watapata mimi hiyo siku ulinipigia simu, ukasema bana nimegwama, nisaidie 40k. Nikakutumia. Ama ilikuwa pesa ya chama 150k ulitumiwa. Ukaenda mahali ukakuwa treasurer wa matanga, mkachanga pesa ya marehemu ikafika 600, wanakuambia my friend, this is tax. Hii ni business ulifanya. So you will find KRA telling you have a fine of 10 million. But in real sense, there is nothing.
Yes. Because
your PIN was registered for VAT. So this means every bit of transaction that you received that time was vatable. Sasa wewe uruke juu uende chini, si tunataka hiyo pesa.
Tunataka 10 million.
And the good people that we have, they don't have records.
Yes.
Sasa utaanza kutembea, mtu alikufa 205, uende utafute pario permit yake ulete ndio prove hii pesa ilikuwa ya matanga. Utoke hapo tena ukuje unitafute useme, so waambie mimi ulinitumia ya mafuta, it will be late. So the best thing a business person does in Kenya have even 10 companies. Ukifungua e-citizen yako upate uko na registered businesses kama 2-3. You are not serious in Kenya.
Uwi.
Have even 15 of them.
Uwi.
Have 20 of them.
Wow.
Fanya hiyo kazi. But as you do that, ensure you know what are you opening yourself to. Because there are very many things that come with opening a business. You will open a business will want you to file registrar of companies returns. They are fileable every year and they cost 500. You file using e-citizen.
Yes.
So if you exist with the company for 5 years and you have not filed, one, you will take 5 by 500, that is 2,500. Then penalty iko wapi? As always in Kenya, the language that people understand very well is a penalty and an interest. A penalty and an interest. Toka hapo kuja kwa income tax company. It's filed every year for 5 years. Penalty ni 10,000. Kwanza tukuje tuangalie tupate wewe hizi 10,000 haukufile, but however there is an amount that you gained and you did not declare. So we are giving you also a penalty of that. So we will calculate the interest and put it on that. So for 5 years you have 50, then you add the penalty and interest. These guys will tell you sasa wewe yako imeshafika 700. Unamaliza na income tax company, unakuja unapata turnover tax kaidi hajawahi declare hata moja. Na wakiangalia statement yako umepiga huko na 8.5 million.
Sasa hapo ndio tunataka sasa tuongee, Mr. Expert. What is if you can break it down kwa wananchi sasa, sisi watu wa chini huku chini tuelewe.
Yes.
Who is supposed or who pays income tax? What are you running to pay income tax? The VAT. Yes. And the turnover.
Yes. Okay. So now, in terms of tax, we have we said we did away with the single personal PIN.
Yes.
So we are into business. Income tax for a business is payable at the end of the year. And every business, that is, if you have a business name, you will pay it as an individual. You will declare it as an individual on your PIN. If you have a company, you will file something called income tax company. Income tax company, this is where we are now saying, do you have the records? Wewe kwa VAT inaonyesha umenunua vitu that are worth, let's say 20 million in that year. Under the sales, you are saying you have done sales that are worth 35 million. So this 15 million difference, in this 15 million, if you are not going to declare anything as an expense on your side, under the income tax company, we are going to calculate 30% of the 15 million because that's the profit that you received. So KRA will want 30% from that amount. So unless you have a good record where you are calculating your costs, you are calculating your daily expenses, you have employees you are paying, maybe from your farm you have employees, you must declare them. And the only way you can prove you have an employee is by telling us you are paying for SHA for them, you have been paying payee for them, that's pay as you earn, and then you have also been remitting their NSSF. That is the only way you can have an employee in KRA. But if you have not been paying payee, you will not come and tell us, my friend, mimi nataka niwaambie nikuwa na employees, nikuwa na walipa pesa yao for the year is 5 million. No. We will look at, did you file pay as you earn? So pay as you earn will graduate your company into income tax company. So all these taxes are related because by declaring VAT, that is using input and outputs, they will be able to balance off and give me how much did I earn from this business. After I've finished doing that, I have filed pay for my employees. How much have I filed for them? If they are receiving 24,000, I will pay less than 24,000. I will not pay any pay tax for my employees if they are receiving less than 24,000. So I will only declare, but I will not pay because they don't qualify to pay. So less than 24 nimedeclare pale, hiyo pesa 24 itatumika kuja kunicalculatea income tax company. How much did I make? So that from the 20 million, I'll be able to less the salaries that I declared at the pay level. Then turnover tax. There is no way you are going to tell us wewe under VAT uli make 20 million. Under turnover, kaidi inatuambia mimi nilikuwa na 7 million. You are lying. So they must be related. So these all taxes under a business, they are going to culminate into income tax company that you will come to file. So as a business entity, you have value added tax that is calculated based on invoice in Kenya. As a business, you have income tax that is calculated using netting of your profit, operation costs, and any other. Then you net and get profit after tax. That is what we will tax. The profit after tax. You have turnover tax, 2%, and turnover tax in Kenya is capped at 5 million also, currently by the current finance bill. It is capped at 5 million. Then from turnover tax, we have something called exercise duty. Exercise duty, these are selected items or brands like juice, water. For you as a business, you are not supposed to pay. The only thing you are supposed to do, if you get some bottle of water, they have a stamp of KRA on top of them. That means that company is compliant and it has paid for exercise duty. So you as a business, the only thing you are supposed to do is to ensure if KRA walks in your business today and find you are transacting or you are selling water that is not certified and exercise duty has not been paid, then we will assume that water, it has been purchased illegally. So where will you pay tax? So the only opportunity or the obligation of the taxpayer is to ensure ananunua maji kona stamp. Wewe hiyo exercise duty, you're not paying for it anywhere. So those are the taxes that we are having now for a business. Unless you have if you are importing, you have import duty. You declare that is at the port or in the airport, you must pay for import duty. And import duty, all these taxes are related for a business person. Because if you declared them at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport as goods worth 10 million, you cannot come and tell us from your KRA you have sold goods worth 5 million. Kwani wewe unafanya biashara gani? Are you an agent geo?
Utuambie unauza half price.
5 million hapa katikati
imepotea hivyo.
Goroka ikapotea. Then we are auditing this after 5 years and you are still in business, you have never closed down. KRA will ask you, can we make it make sense? How have you been pushing all this time when you have been making losses? It's better to make a loss but all operations have been catered for. Ukifika pale kwa profit before tax na upate ni loss, hapo tunaweza ona hii maneno vile tunasungusha. Lakini wewe utuambie at the sales, netting of sales and receipts, wewe waacha bwana. Watakwambia unatuchocha. Unaleta giza. Then another tax that is also tax but people do not view it as tax ni county government licenses. They are also tax. Permits. We have permits for your business, advertisement. You know, people, they don't know when you put an nomination on your business. Kama ni kwa mlango uandike hapo, welcome Kilele Media. This is Namalwa Chesoli. I'm selling this and this. I am an MC. You must pay for tax for that. Yes. You must pay for it, but payable at the county level. Then fire. If you are selling food, you must register na inaitwa
health and
sanitation and
board.
Sanitation board, which is found in the Health Act. Cap 554 something there. So those are also taxes that are accompanied with a business. So you sum them together. So for you to come up and net off and say Safaricom has made 30 billion after tax. Know that Safaricom might have really made about 250 billion
Wow.
before tax. So that when you come now to net off and begin giving us taxes, you are remaining with 30 billion.
Ish.
So we are working for the government, and the government must be worked for.
For it to run,
Yes.
we must,
We
all
must.
of us,
We
as
must.
Kenyans.
So we are having four crucial taxes,
Yes.
and we have said VAT, we have input and output. So output VAT is what are you selling? Output, it is you are giving out.
Let me ask another simple question, because I'm also in business, and I want to understand this.
Yes.
I sell T-shirts, and my supplier has sold me a T-shirt with at 16%.
Yes.
At what percentage am I supposed to sell now these T-shirts as to the end user?
16% as VAT to you.
Yes, to me.
You are also just supposed to charge 16. It is aura for an aura. So what you do, the only thing you are supposed to add there is your profit. How much do you want to sell? Because already you have been given at 16%.
Yes.
So the only thing that you do, the beauty about tax is that it gives you the liberty to transfer liability of tax, where we will share this liability. I've purchased T-shirts, and these T-shirts are taxable. So the only thing I'm supposed to add on that T-shirt is my profit. Because already the 16% that your supplier has charged you, it will serve as an input VAT in the system. So as you sell to your customer and you are billing him, the price that your supplier gave you, if it was let's say 5,000, and you want to sell it, you will only add your 500 shillings as profit. That 500 is profit. Because remember, the 5, it was inclusive of tax. So you are only transferring the liability. This guy...
Wait a minute.
Yes.
I have bought an item at 5,000.
Inclusive of tax.
Inclusive of tax.
Yes.
I'm adding my profit
of 500.
Of 500.
Yes.
So plus 16% now.
No.
Should be 5,000 of 16%. 16% of 5,000, then plus my profit.
No. Because this person has already given you an input VAT, which when you sell to the other customer and charge him 16% inclusive of that price, you will be able to get an output VAT, which they will net off. The only thing that will give us a difference here is now the profit that you have included. That is what will temper with
Fellow
the 16%.
Kenyans, wacha kutuibia.
That is what will temper with your 16%. Because if he gave me at 5,000 and it was inclusive of tax, and I'm going to sell it at 5,500, this means I want to add 500, not 1,500, 500. Ukiweka kwa calculator, the VAT will have increased.
Yeah.
Yenye utacharge ule customer. Because wewe umeongeza profit yako.
Yes.
So it will go upwards. So that when you net off, you will get a difference of how much are you supposed to pay. Umeelewa?
Wow.
So you get that's why it is very hard to get an item. If you are going to get an item below 1,000, let's say 500 shillings you have purchased an item, and then sell that item at 600, you will be an entertainer in town. You want to help these people and move forward with life and be around and jump. Because the moment you add 100 on that amount, know that 100, part of it, because you have increased the liability, you don't add 16%. Just add your profit. Then calculate the VAT. Because VAT was already inclusive when someone sold it to you.
Yeah.
Unless that person told you, I'm selling you without tax. And you from your side, you want to tell us you are selling inclusive of tax.
Yes.
Now, as a Kenya Revenue Authority officer, he will come to your door and ask you, you mean you sold this thing from the air? You did not purchase it. Because how come you purchased an item without tax and you are selling inclusive of tax? So he will charge you as a manufacturer. you will pay tax as a manufacturer.
Oh, wow.
Because there is no way you will sell a product that is emanating from the air. So if you are given an item inclusive of VAT, the best practice is VAT input has already been given. So what you are going to indulge in is a VAT output, where when it comes to VAT filing, you will have two sets of VAT. And VAT payable is always VAT output minus VAT input. You done. Unaona
I
hiyo
get it,
unaona
I
hiyo
get it.
maneno
Naona
jameni?
hiyo maneno
So
jameni.
so the VAT output is what have I actually billed my customers.
Yeah.
And the input is how much have my supplier billed
Build me.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So because the VAT you are giving out, your sales, we assume that your sales, if you have purchased items and you will sell all of them ziishe, we assume that your sales, because you inclusive of the profit, that will be higher. So VAT payable, unless ujalipa zote na huku ulichajiwa, that is when it will come to be a negative. The beauty with the negative at KRA, you will file that VAT next month. So if you sold stock na haikuisha, next month umesell na umesell the same stock of the previous time. So that means you are just going to reduce that negative
Yeah.
that is existing in the system.
The system.
So mnasonga nayo until the negative
Inaisha.
inaisha.
Okay, on that note, let me also ask, you find that now people doing business with government entities,
Yes.
and you realize, especially watu wa Agpo turudi hapa, ama any other business entity,
Yes.
sometimes you're doing tenders and you're told later invoice.
Yes.
And of course the invoice is the receipt, the VAT receipt,
Yes.
the ETR.
Yes.
But you see the payment is not immediate.
Yes.
Unaweza peleka invoice leo ukuje ulipwe 2032.
Yes.
What happens to such people?
I think
Or how does KRA now treat that? Because you see, you cannot pay the VAT that you haven't been paid as a business.
That is now the big question. But with VAT, VAT is payable at source. So this means, just like payee, when you pay an employee, you must pay as a KRA. So if you are into business, the first thing that you must calculate when you are giving an invoice, in your cost, include the VAT amount. So that you know, if I'm doing this business, na nitalipwa kitambo, this means nafaa nihakikishe ya kwamba the budget that I'm having to be able to facilitate or fund that business, I must be able to include tax. Because once you file or once you put it in an ETR receipt,
Yes.
it is supposed to be paid.
Wow.
So as a business person, if I'm getting today a tender worth 200,000 Kenya shillings, and I'm supposed to have gotten the tender, I've supplied, and I'm invoicing you. Actually, KRA currently does not recognize your invoice that you are invoicing. KRA recognizes an invoice from eTeams system. That is the invoice you are supposed to give your client.
Yes.
Not the invoice you have decorated with the flowers of your
With
company
the logo.
and whatever, and
Yes.
your phone numbers and whatever. No, it only recognizes that eTeams system generated invoice. So this invoice, the moment you raise it, you must pay. And here is the trick. The reason why you are going to fear to pay it as a business person is because you did not declare who sold to you this item, but you want to declare whom are you selling to. But if you declare, I've purchased this shoe from Chesoli, and I want to sell it to Brian. It's very easy in the system to balance that tax liability, because I will tell you to give me a VAT receipt. You will give it to me. Then I sell it to Brian and he wants a VAT invoice. By receiving yours, it's in the system, and by giving Brian, it is in the system. This means at the end of the day, I'll be able to pay about, if I've purchased this shoe at 5,000, if you calculate input and output VAT, utapata nafaa kulipa 200 kwa hiyo invoice at the end of the month. Naweza jitolea nitafute hiyo 200 niuze mayai, nilipe KRA, then mimi ningoje utanijenga hiyo pesa. But where the gap kicks in, I've only declared to Brian in the e-teams, and I'm doing it because it's a must. Huyo jamaa may insist kama sijapeana hiyo anilipi. But the good Kenyans that we know, well behaved, they will say wewe ile siku unanilipa utanishtua. Ukishanishtua hivi ndio ndaweka kwa system unijenge hiyo do within that month, then nilipe. Of which this person is not helping you. Wewe unalipa pesa mingi yenye ufai kulipa. The best thing or the best practice you are supposed to engage yourself in, just get the supplier, let him give you the right invoice, let it be in the system. Let this person who is giving you hii kitu anakupatia, let it be in the system. Then as a VAT registered person, there are items that I'm going to purchase in the shop, even for home use, not even if it's not business, but for home use in a supermarket, and I have a PIN that is registered under VAT. I must be able to give out that PIN so that whatever the items that I'm purchasing, these items are going to end up being used by me. Because me, I am a business. So even if someone will come and say, show us that this thing is related to business, if you have a account, you are fueling, and you have a PIN that is registered under VAT, this is the card that I'm using to go to work. So this means it's directly involved or linked to my business. So if I'm fueling it, automatically that VAT must be declared. So that huyu jamani nilipea kiatu, utapata hata mimi kwanza nadai kiari. So nikienda kufile hiyo 200, mimi nilifuel gari
na 1,000.
Na 1,000.
Na nikuulize,
ama 2,000.
Nikuulize on that note. Ukidai KRA wao wanarudisha hiyo pesa? Yes,
there are scenes where KRA will give you money.
Hey,
but for me, I want to assure you that but they do. But for them to do that, know that you will be opened to scrutiny. Where at the end of the day, instead of kudai utaambiwa, hey, wewe
unadai, tunakudai.
Wewe unadai 20k, hapo unafaa kulipa 40k, so tufanya aje? And they are very mad. They will not tell you, let us net off this 20k and 40k. They will tell you, pay the 40, they will give you 20. And true to their word, they will give you that money.
Wow.
If you pay the 40, they are going to give you the 20. But be rest assured, they must scrutinize that PIN.
Wow.
And tell you which one is your bank account. Can you give us a statement for this period? Can we go through it? This amount, what was it for? You said you are a teacher. Yes, a teacher, and you received 250 and it was not a loan. This must have been business. And you did not declare.
Wow.
So they do. But very hard circumstances
to refund.
Because as a Kenyan, you are prone to errors. And you must be very creative. Because in Kenya, there is something in Kenya. We have tax evasion and tax avoidance. Tax evasion, this is a very creative Kenyan who knows what does the law say about tax, and where is the loophole that I can do business and not pay tax. Because if the net income that I have done business, yes, but while on the way I was doing business, this guy becomes creative and says that while at the business I have my employee who got fractured. And we compensated that person. We compensated him from the business. He comes up with a company policy that says if an employee gets this and this, he will be compensated by the company. So we have a profit here. Look, we must share it. This profit, this guy got an accident and we were supposed to pay for him. Tumesonga. The company, he buys a car, he registers that car under the company, and by mistake, maybe the car gets an accident. It's supposed to be written off, or the insurance was defective, or he's supposed to compensate someone because the company car caused an accident, and you are supposed to compensate someone. Or this car, as is registered that car under the company business, but he did not purchase that car with business money. But he decides to lie that I made profit, but I purchased the car for the business. Because if you check, the car is registered under the business. So what will you do? So we will net off and say the GLE 360D costed 15 million and the profit was 15. So we are sorry to let you know that we have no tax to pay.
That is now what you call tax evasion.
Exactly. So this is a very creative person, not paying tax, but very creative and under the law.
Yes.
Tax avoidance ni kaidi ina file tax vizuri, inaona ndio hii 11,000 nafaa kulipa, wacha nikule nitalipa next month. Next month kimeumana msesina do.
Sasa hapo ndio majority of Kenyans wako.
They avoid. But they don't know how to evade. So you can evade tax. There are very many laws that will always
guide and shield you
from paying tax. You are supposed to pay, but you will not pay, and you are legally not paying. But avoidance ni kaidi tu imeamua mse mimi najua nafaa kulipa juu. Wamenijenga risiti lakini saa mzae sina do.
Imeenda kwa shughuli zingine.
Mimi nitafanya aje cho?
Mtulie. Na hiyo pesa inaendelea ku earn penalty or interest.
Yeah, as you live, when you live to KRA today about 200,000, and for 5 years you might be asked to pay a penalty of about 800,000 or 500,000, and the principal amount to be paid is 200.
Ooh-wee.
So the problem with them, even an amount that you are not paying, it is penalized and it wanaweka interest. That is the language they understand. We give you a penalty and we charge you interest.
And interest on the same.
So I don't know how that economics they work. And I will like one day to get a KRA person to tell us how does he understand the word penalty and interest. Because interest is supposed to be charged on the principal amount. But if you find someone who has not been paying, who has not been filing tax, where do you get interest? You are only supposed to penalize and let him pay the penalty.
Atia adabu.
Hey.
But going back to now where we began when we were talking of awareness.
Yes.
Because you realize that now when you fail to file your returns, maybe the VAT or the personal yearly returns,
yes,
you are penalized 10,000 per month. And I wonder how did they manage to come up with that, or what did they base on? The
income tax per year.
Yes.
I think they don't do it per month. They will just do it that is for a year. But if it is VAT,
it's monthly.
Because you are supposed to file monthly. So they deal with which period are you supposed to file. So if it's yearly, they will penalize you for the year. If it's monthly, you are negligence on a monthly basis.
It's 10,000.
It's 10,000.
So
it's the Kenya Revenue Authority Act that gives them that latitude. Then we have the Public Finance Management Act. Not Public Finance Management Act. We have Tax Procedures Act that gives them iyo kiburi. Then they are also protected by what we call a finance bill. So I don't know why they don't review it in terms of penalties. They always like reviewing it in terms of where do we add. Where do we add?
That is and you see that the problem also is that majority of Kenyans, whether they're in business or not,
yes,
they really don't have the access to that information and the implications.
Exactly. Now the problem in Kenya currently is that we must come to terms that Kenya is still a third world country. We are not developed, we are developing. So like when you see the government coming up with things like SHA is a good thing, but they are telling you this thing is internet based. Someone is telling you he wants to begin an e-procurement thing. E-procurement is good for the benefit of the country. But will you tell Mama Mboga to go to the cyber every day to tell him, I've sent you a quotation on e-procurement. You should go and get it there.
Not possible.
It's not possible. So same to KRA. KRA is something very good. But can we work with what is currently available? Can we do with what is it making sense? Unaona? So the problem that we have is they have invested in technology from their side and they have not invested on technology to the user.
To the user. The end user now is suffering.
Exactly. So they should be able to create a model that is friendly. In fact, a principle of tax, or it's called a convention of tax. One is that tax must be simple to the user.
Yes.
It must be simple. So that this user does not have a problem on how he or she should pay tax. But when a tax system is complicated, it also means the person who is supposed to collect this tax will not collect that tax effectively.
Absolutely.
So the current problem with our tax system is that it's very complicated, and then information is not readily available to the to the person who is paying the tax. As we sit here today, for the past 2 months, KRA has released about 5 notices that are touching on tax. Most of them on income tax, others on import duty, that is for the cars, the procedures. They have revised the rates for importing cars. But tell me, how many people are aware of that? Who knows that we have 5 notices from KRA
I don't know.
that is requiring someone, you are supposed to adjust this, you're supposed to adjust this? No one. KRA in 2024 December, they passed, the Parliament of Kenya passed a regulation touching on income tax, where people were given some reprieve from paying taxes. But in Kenya, up to now, the people who are earning from government, they don't know that their pay slip was adjusted. And there is a law, that a regulation that was passed that helped them. They are paying somehow lesser taxes. And it's a margin of about 2,500 Kenya shillings. But they are not aware. That notice, if you ask them, they don't know what's happening. So it is, the system for KRA is complicated. The tax system must be simple. Simplicity.
Absolutely.
So that ule mama mboga anajua mimi nikisha let them automate their systems. It's very simple. Anajua mimi kazi yangu ni kununua melon.
Yes.
Ule mtu alishakata tax, ule mtu nauzia atalipa na system yenye inakata tax. Huko nyinyi nitumieni tu message, your tax of this month is this much. If I have a problem, niwaambie, hey bana, hii mbona last March, it's like mita ya maji
nama stima.
Stima. Maji last month nilipa 500. Mbona leo mnasema 850? So line ya KRA hapo inafaa ikuwe last month. Nililipa hii. Mbona leo ni hii? So that's someone there mwenye anakuja na kwambia, no, last month this is what you
your input
sold.
And the output ni hivi na hivi.
Unamwambia hata mama, ukiangalia mpesa yako hii mwezi ulipata pesa mingi. Anakuambia na kweli baba, unasema ukweli. So that is very easy. These people they can. Lakini sasa wewe mtu ni mama mboga, sijui autopopulated VAT return. So huyo mama, wewe unataka achukue pesa ya mboga, aenda kuhire accountant wa kufile tax yake on a monthly basis. It doesn't make sense.
And I was coming there. Kwa sababu majority of Kenyans are small business earners.
Yes.
And you realize that hata they cannot afford having accountants.
Yes.
So how do we expect these people, hata huyo mtu mwenye ako tu na pin yake personal, to file returns?
That is where mambo inachemkia. Because even if today you have a company and you want to engage Kenya Revenue Authority on anything, maybe you want to claim that you have VAT negatives that are supposed to refund. The first thing these guys are going to ask you is, where is an audited statement from an accountant? Where is your audited statement?
Yes.
For you to get someone who is qualified to audit your KRA books of account, this is not a guy you're going to pay 20 shillings. This is not a guy you're going to pay 2,000.
Not even 10,000.
The least he can take, na kama tu nyinyi ni mabeshta, atakwambia ni pay 35,000. So that apitie hizo vitabu, azione, then akushow venye utafanya. So tell me someone who is in business the only money yenye anapata as profit maybe ni hiyo anapata 20,000 ama 10k atatoa wapi 35 ya kulipa? It will be very hard. So it is a complex system that to me, if this is what is funding our government, then it must be very keen with them.
Absolutely.
In fact, before going to e-procurement systems and getting other systems like the payroll system, they should focus on simplifying their tax system so that anybody, by you having my data in your system, I don't have an accountant to come and audit it. Just go through it. Where there is a problem, ask me. Let me tell you this and this has happened. But ukianza kuniambia you must have a qualified accountant who is looking at the vitabu za mama mboga and the people who contribute a lot. Wachana na hawa tu. The billionaires are supplying hewa. Hawa ni wase wanaosha do. Huu ni mtu anaitiwa deal ni ya 10 million, ana supply mara ya kwanza, ya pili ni hewa, analipwa, anaenda. Anaambiwa we kuja tu, we know how we will fabricate these books. Huyu ni mtu is not contributing actual cash to the economy. Lakini mse ako na melon hapo chini, unless ametembea na mguu ameitafuta. Sukuma unaenda kwa shamba unachuna, unakuja nayo, unauza. So these are the real taxpayers. And they are paying real money, hard earned money. Hii ni pesa huu mtu amesweta, amefikiria. So these are the people who are supposed to be looked at. Instead of increasing tax in an economy, look at the smallest units of tax. How am I going to collect them effectively, bila kutuma watu na rungu sijui where is a pin, you have not registered with a pin, gari ikapo chini, unaenda uende upande uende. That does not make sense. Make the system itself automated. If it is Safaricom Kenya, mkienda Safaricom sinyi mnajua huyu mtu alipata dongapi. Bill Safaricom. There's no way you're going to bill me on a transaction nimetuma do ya 100 bob, umenibill 27 shillings. Tena tukishamaliza tena unaanza kuniambia mimi sijui kuna tax nyingine huku lipa. Just get hiyo tax calculate mara moja. Venye KPLC inafanya, inakuletea umelipa token ni 40, 60 ni tax. Tumalizane. Mimi nijue tu mimi nilishakafunga. So that the system becomes very easy and nobody is complaining. So watu kama mama mboga and whatever, that is the issue that exists. However, now that is already there, what do you do? So the best practice that you can do as a taxpayer, because it's only challenges and issues that will inform KRA to tell you, have someone who has audited those books of account. But the best thing you can do, just adhere to simple practices of tax. If you don't know them, get someone who is telling you from your sales zenye uko nazo, we umeshapitisha 5 million, register for VAT tax. This is what you will do. And most of the time hizi vitu itabidi umejua. Ujue tu VAT wanafile aje. The advantage with the VAT currently is very easy. You will just run an auto-populated return on your system, get input VAT and output VAT, be able to run those CSV files, upload them on your template that you are filing tax with. It'll pick automatic, validate it and upload on KRA website. So they are trying, but I feel they are 5%. They are 5% better. They have 95% to go. So that let this thing just be automated. Ulilipa tax, yes. Hata time na kupatia hivi nini na kukatia VAT, kama niko na simu nimeregister na hiyo pin, let me get a notification. Someone from KRA has created an input VAT of
this amount to your pin.
If I'm on items, nikisha raise invoice inanitumia. Hata nikiingia kwa messages zangu nachukua tu hii 1645 minus 1845, niko na 2k nafaa kulipa mwezi ikiisha. Mwezi ikifika 20th, let the system automate. Sasa hivi tu ni AI.
Absolutely.
We don't need a lot of story. Let them automate their chatbots and put them on work.
Kama banks vile zinafanya. Umeweka pesa hii, umetoa leo, your balance brought forward,
angalia hapa,
angalia hapa,
kia
cheza
hivi,
hii.
weka hii,
Uko
1 plus
negative.
2 pata 3, you move. There's I'm an expert in something called governance, risk and compliance. Governance, risk and compliance systems, they are there to ensure you as a manager, you are more automated than what you are doing on your table. So as a tax system, they are supposed to have more inquiries and more clarifications to make in person than what their customers are supposed to do at the manual level. You are supposed to, as a business entity, you are supposed to automate your system in a way that the only thing you are supposed to respond to in length is an inquiry.
Yes.
But every other thing, AI is making it somehow
Simpler.
flexible and
Yes.
simpler.
Yeah.
How do you undertake that assignment? If it is an audit, if you have a firm and you want to undertake maybe an audit or whatever, we have an automated system that when by integrating your system and that internal audit system, yours is to sleep. Because it has,
And let the system work.
yes,
do the
it
work.
has about 3-4 layers
Yes.
that are supposed that are going to work on your behalf. What I'm going to do, maybe come and ask it to analyze this data. Yes. So the profession or a professional, what is only going to do here is to interpret the data. And now ukicheza kidogo, AI will interpret that data for you.
Yes.
But for accuracy and for avoidance of doubt, you will need now a professional to interpret. So mi nikikuja kama mi ni I'm a professional in that field, what I'm going to do there is this one means this. This means your firm. What is advanced report? Because now you are not specialized in that field. I'll be able to tell you hii inafanya hivi na hivi. So GRC, Kenya Revenue Authority should adopt what we call GRC. Governance, risk and compliance. We have sets of tax procedures in the Tax Procedures Act and the Tax Procedure Manual that to date KRA has never started implementing them.
Wow.
A lot. In fact, if today KRA adopts all of them, the recommendation of a system, they have, see at Yawajui, they have a recommended system that they are supposed to use. I hear they were debating some time back and saying, the system will cost, I don't know, 1 billion, and the one we are having is about 500 million. Where will we get the money to get the new system? So they are debating on the cost of the system. But the law is there, everything is in place. So for them kutufanyia hii kazi kuwa rahisi, ni shida tu ni mzigo kidogo. Nani anafaa kuili.
Wow, viewers, mambo leo, mambo ni ya mahesabu.
Mambo ni vulai.
Thank you, mambo ni vulai sana. Watu wamesangala. Ama tunasema nini?
Musangari.
Watu mumesangala. Musangale watu wangu. Thank you so much, our guest, BN Malemo, business and tax consultant. He's really talked and taught us so much. It's been very educative session for us to know our obligations as taxpayers and as Kenyan citizens. So guys, if you have any question, maybe Brian, parting shot and your phone number, kwa wale wanataka accountants, wanataka consultancy on matters tax, watakupata namna gani?
Inshallah. Okay, for me, I think I cannot say I'm per se an expert too much. But we know a bit of information that we can be able to use and work together this journey of compliance. I run an agency or a company that is dealing with most of these things, because governance, risk and compliance at the compliance level is where we are meeting with the tax. We want to ensure you as a business, you have complied with the tax regulations, the tax procedures, and what you needed to remit as a business entity to the government of the Republic of Kenya. At the risk level, we are evaluating your firm, your business, the risks involved and what is there. We are doing an internal audit on your behalf and be able to recommend to you what you are supposed to undertake to improve on your business, what you are supposed to do so that you can move. What is your vision? What is your strategic plan? And as it stands today, are you being guided by your strategic plan? Ama wewe ni mtu umegwama hapo kwa barabara, unatafuta ka profit, unapata ka pesa ngapi na unasonga namna gani? Governance now, it's the management part. How are you managing your business? How are you compliant in your business? As a CEO of that business, it's not good as a CEO, the best practice that you know maybe ni kuorder na kuuza. What else do you know? So all these things, we sum them up in softwares. We have softwares that are going to do this job for you. We will not waste time sana. Then the world has moved. It's now digital.
Yes.
So we will begin. We walk a journey with you, by the way. We will begin from zero to a hero. So we will be able to understand, do you have a system? What type of a system? What is this system doing on your business? The impact, we evaluate the impact. Sometimes you have a business and you have a system that you are wasting time on. Things that you can do na kitaba and go home. Just get a manual receipt book and go home. We will tell you that the value of money of this system is not meeting the standards of your business. If the system is not that maybe secure on your side, we can also be able to do that and see what we can do. So from our end, we have internal audit softwares, ranging several of them. We have internal controls softwares, several of them. We have risk and management softwares. We have compliance audit softwares. We have policy. Our business needs policies. And those policies are what will help you to evade tax, by the way. So how many policies do you have in a business? You know, there are people, anajua, mi kazi yangu, kama ni senje hapa anajua, mi kazi yangu ni kusource na kuuza. But what policy do you have? If you are taking someone to court today, that you have an employee, maybe ameiba kitu. Me, as your lawyer, the first question I must ask you is, wewe in your internal processes of the company, alisign an agreement kwamba ata-adhere to these rules. You don't have any rule, you don't have anything. So even your company does not qualify to sue your employee because it does not have any procedure or process in the company. So as a company normal is having a procedure, a rule, a regulation. Ukishamalizana na hizo, graduate to policies, sales management policy, work ethics, go to kama ni supplier, what is it that your supplier must meet so that he can be able to sell and buy from your side. So that is where now policy management comes in from our side. Then we have third-party risk management. That one is dealing with, you have a website, maybe as a business entity. You have an online store. We will be able to integrate that store or website or whatever to be able to be protected from third-party intruders. Kuna watu wana hack system. Unaamka leo asubuhi unapata social media yako, uko na internet in your farm, but your social media wameweka hapo pornographic materials. Someone alipita nayo while you are asleep. So we have such systems that are coming to your rescue and be able to help you.
Wow.
You have a business, you have a board. We do board management softwares, where you don't need to travel here to have a meeting. We have a software where it can arrange a meeting, take minutes on your behalf, plan that meeting, and then instead of kusumbuana na Zoom, it will schedule that meeting for you. Then tell you who is attending, who is not attending. Why did you not attend? We have materials we want to share with your board. You will just log in and share. Si WhatsApp, sijui tumeunda group, ndio hiyo tumeweka kidogo kidogo. Mtu demu yake alipita na simu yake ya WhatsApp, akaingia kwa WhatsApp, akashare your company important records. It becomes messy sometimes, by the way. So we give you value in that process.
So
and then
how do we get you?
We can have a communication at Our website, that is JM Deals Limited, jmdeals.co.ke. We have also an X account, JM Deals Limited, Facebook, JM Deals Limited, and also TikTok, JM Deals Limited. But personally, BN Malemo everywhere. That is the brand.
BN Malemo.
Yes, that's the brand. BN is a writer, by the way. I do quotes on daily basis, consecutively for 5 years.
Wow.
So if you take 360 times 5, I've done those number
You
of
need
quotes.
to be taxed.
However, it's not an income generating activity. It's just kujibamba.
Passion.
That is what I also take pride in. So when you walk somewhere and see BN Malemo quotes, that is me. I'm the authenticator, the orator, and the writer.
Wow.
Of those quotes. And they are posted on daily basis on our Facebook platforms, Twitter platforms, and TikTok platforms.
Wow.
Daily. Every morning, you're gonna get it.
Thank you so much, BN Malemo. I feel that we need to just have 4 hours to have this conversation, because Maze, anything touching tax and obligations, it is a nightmare. It's a nightmare to many of us. But thank you so much for coming on board. You have actually unpacked most of the myths or the misinformation that we've had as Kenyans when it comes to tax compliance and obligations and maybe penalties. And we are so happy. I hope that when we need you next time, because najua kuna mtu ameuliza hapa swali. Let me just read some reactions from my members on TikTok. And someone has said here that thank you so much. Mimi nilifikiria bora ukuwe na pin, KRA ndio inafanya kila kitu.
That is what is supposed to be. That is what is supposed to be.
Another one is saying, but baba yangu alinunua gari. Na wakati na akaletewa penalty ya 800,000 kwa gari, hatukuelewa.
Penalty as...
Sasa amesema hivyo. Alinunua gari na akaletewa penalty. I think, is it penalty or is it...
maybe declaration, the company that sold to him, it had a problem with declaration at the port. Maybe it was not registered. I have a same case. Someone purchased a car from someone. Then he changed the engine of the car. So he goes to KRA, because when you change an engine of a car, you must revisit the logbook. And KRA must authorize that, then NTSA confirms the logbook. So on reaching KRA, the chassis number of the car was never declared at the port. So tax was never paid. Ililetwa na mlango wa nyuma. Na imeshatumika na watu watatu. So the penalty or the tax of import for the car is about 3.5 million. The cost of the car is 2 million. What do? Unawaachia gari waende nayo. So you surrender.
You surrender.
Yes.
Another one is asking, what happens kama the company owner akona deni la KRA kama 2 million na kufe? Watafuata nani?
The company is, that's why we started by saying a company has perpetual existence. A human being dies, but a company will never die. So if the owner of the company dies today, automatically the company will have other directors who will come in, or the next of kin who will come in. So at the end of the day, unless the company is winded up, if it exists and someone else will come in to pick up the company, that person will, and in most cases, the KRA will not come for you. They will still deal with the company. If there are other directors that are coming in, they will still come for the company. They don't have business. KRA does not have business with the director of a company. They have business with the company, because it has perpetual existence. Perpetual existence means it will exist as long as it does. Yes.
Wow.
So unless no one will come in, aridhi hiyo kampuni, then itaachia hapo. Itakufa hivyo. but in most cases they will come for the assets. There is a procedure. They'll come for the assets of the company. Once they don't get the assets of the company, they will do what we call lifting the corporate veil of a company. Lifting the corporate veil of a company is who are the owners of this company. That is when now the person who died comes in, because there is a tax liability is supposed to be paid, and there's no one who is taking responsibility. So they do a corporate veil of the company, get the owner, and go for the assets. That is when the company at the liquidity level, it does not have an asset that can pay the liability. So they get the owner, go for the assets.
Wow.
Yes.
Kwa hivyo KRA is leaving no one behind.
No, they will come for the kashamba.
Wow, you guys make sure unafuata maagizo ya KRA. If you have a PIN, my dear brothers and sisters, make sure you follow the rules. Rule ya game ni fanya vile inafaa ifanyike. Don't joke around. Don't keep postponing at nitalipa ama wacha tuone ni nini watafanya. Don't wait for KRA to come for you. Make sure you do the right thing. And I'm so happy. Thank you so much, BN Malemo.
Yes.
Umetufunza mambo mingi sana. Personally, even for me, niko na maswali nitakuuliza nyuma ya kibanda, kwa sababu viewers wataona kumbe Namalwa pia hajui maneno. Maze, thank you so much, and special appreciation goes to Kelele Digital for hosting us. And guys, if you also need to have your podcast, you're welcome at Kelele Digital. They have massive space. The studio is so amazing. You can see that. You can see how we are amazing, beautiful, glowing, courtesy of their setup. They're very good. So please, if you want to host, or you want live streaming, you want production, please call Kelele Digital on 011 555 2455 for Kelele Digital. And if you want to be the next guest on podcast with Namalwa Chesoli, please call us on 0712 11 27 78. Kama umetujoin mwisho na ujui conversation imeanzia wapi, kwa sababu imekuwa the most amazing and longest conversation that we've ever had on my podcast, go pale YouTube on Namalwa Chesoli _ on mic podcast, or on Kelele Digital pale YouTube. Wewe sikiza na ukuje utulize maswali next. Thank you so much. Until next time. Musangale. Mbwekse. Wow. Eish.